Hello everyone, this is part 10 of What If Naruto Went Back to the Past, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Naruto slammed his fist into the tree, making it fall to the forest floor. Sakura just stood in a far back tree watching her husband work off his anger at the blindness of some of the villagers. He always does come here to work off his anger. The trees don't judge him or hate him. They take the punishment without complaint. Thought Sakura as Naruto formed a Rasengan and slammed it into a giant rock, turning it into dust. Slowly Naruto stood up. Looks like he is finished. Sakura jumped down to her husband. Are you alright, Naruto-kun? Asked Sakura as Naruto looked down. Not really, Sakura-chan, said Naruto. Don't let the villagers bug you, some will always hate the Kyuubi and they see you as the Kyuubi, said Sakura as she placed a hand on her husband's shoulder. It isn't their hatred of me that Sakura-chan, said Naruto as Sakura looked a little stunned. Then what is it, Naruto-kun? Asked Sakura. It's if the villagers hate me and when we have kids will they hate them because of me? Said Naruto as Sakura understood. He is so sweet, he is more worried about his family and protecting our future kids than himself. He doesn't want our kids to be hated like he was when he was a kid. Though Sakura as she turned Naruto around to face her. She placed a hand on his cheek. Naruto-kun, you don't have to worry about that, said Sakura, you know that it took them time in our time. So give them a chance, I mean that is a lot of information to take in at once. Still I am worried, said Naruto. Don't be, you will be a great father when we have kids, said Sakura as she leaned in and took her husband's lips. I love you, Sakura-chan. I know, and I love you to my little fox, said Sakura into Naruto's ear. So my vixen wants to play? Asked Naruto into Sakura's ear as he and Sakura rubbed ear other cheeks. You know it. Now let's head home, said Sakura as they disappeared in a flash of light back to their bedroom. Unknown location. So tell me, how did my husband asked Hinata lied in a hospital bed in an Akatsuki base. Itachi used a sealing jutsu that took both his and your husband's soul. Said Conan. I know that my husband would be mad that I have joined the same group as the man who killed him, but at the moment I need a safe place to protect what is left of my husband. Said Hinata. Itachi wasn't truly with us. He was a spy for the Leaf Village, said Conan as Hinata's eyes widened before hate flashed across her face. The Leaf Village, I will destroy them if that is the last thing I do, yelled Hinata. And you will get your chance, said Pain as he appeared in the room. However, now I believe that you will need this. With that, Pain tossed an Akatsuki cloak, hat and ring at the end of the bed. Thanks, said Hinata as she took the ring. That ring has the four-tailed demon in it, said Pain as he handed a new ring to Conan. This ring has the three-tailed. Also Hinata, you will be partnered up with Deidara with the two-tailed demon. Good. When can we destroy the leaf? Asked Hinata. Do not be such a rush, Uchiha, if you fail to plan you plan to fail, said Pain as he left the room. Now rest, said Conan as she followed her leader out the door into the hallway. So Pain, what are you planning? Pain just look at her for a moment. If you were anyone else I would kill you for asking that. But it is me and I know you, said Conan as a rare smile crossed Pain's face. Yes, you do, Conan. We have done almost everything together. We went to school together, our first missions and our first KS, said Pain. Seeing that they were alone, Conan decided to have a little fun. I see that you didn't add what we did together that night in that hotel in Wave all those years ago, said Conan as Pain looked at the floor. You and I both know that was a mistake, said Pain. I am not so sure about that, said Conan before Pain let out a sigh. Me neither, but now we have to focus on making an everlasting peace, said Pain as he turned away from her and walked away. Next day in the Leaf Village. So far, Lady Hokage, we have destroyed 2 sound bases with 9 left to go, said her Anbu captain. Good, I want the half that stayed in the village to go out and take down another 2 bases, said Tsunade as he nodded and walked out the door. Lady Tsunade Iruka is waiting, said Shizune. Shizune, how is Nicta doing? asked Tsunade. She still doesn't sleep peacefully because of the nightmares, but she is getting better, said Shizune. Don't worry, I know that you are helping her as best you can, said Tsunade. Truth be told, Kakashi is helping her more than me. She loves learning things and she already knows everything about me, said Shizune with a sigh of defeat, but her father is different. Well, she never meets him and from her point of view her father is back from the S, said Tsunade. I guess, but I still want to help her, said Shizune. Shizune, listen to me, you are by letting her meet her father for the first time, said Tsunade. By the way, how are you and Kakashi doing? He has been a great help. I am having him sleep on the couch in my apartment. That way he can be there when Nicta needs him. But it does lead to some strange instances, said Shizune as she fought down a blush as remembered the time on morning she walked into bathroom only to find a wet Kakashi, with only his mask on and a towel around his waist. Yeah, it feels strange to be called mom, said Tsunade. Now let's give our daughters a good future. Bring Aruka in. I think it is time for our children to start having a normal life. Unknown location. What do you mean I have to listen to a woman? Asked Deidara. You heard me. Hinata Uchiha is the leader of the squad, ordered Pain. But she is a woman, said Deidara. Yes, an evil bloodthirsty pregnant woman who will kill anyone who crosses her bad side, said Pain as Deidara eyes widened. She would kill you at the drop of a pin, and remember she could kiss him and he could have crushed you like an insect. I will follow her lead. Now what are your orders? Said Deidara. Hinata needs a few more days of rest, so I want you to go investigate the Sand Village. Hinata says the sand will become the leaf allies. I want you to find out about the village's weakness, said Pain. As you wish, said Deidara as he disappeared. In the Hokage's office, Naruto, Sakura, Shikamaru and Temari stood in front of Tsunade's desk. I am sending you on a mission. I want you to be at the talks in the Sand Village over our alliance, said Tsunade. That is fine by me. We can look for the Akatsuki in that wind country, said Naruto. Okay, but I am not sending you guys alone, said Tsunade. The council rule require 2 council members there at the talks. So who else is coming? Asked Sakura as the door opened to show her parents standing in the doorway. This is great, a mission with my parents, thought Sakura. Hello sweaty, said Haruno as he placed a hand on her shoulder. Hello daddy, said Sakura before glaring at her mother. Mother. Sakura, Haruno doesn't speak to me like that, said Rin. Mom, first my name is Sakura Namikaze, second I am not a 12-year-old girl anymore, snapped Sakura. Sakura-chan, calm down, said Naruto. That goes for you as well, Rin-chan. I have made my peace with them and we need to complete this mission, said Manao as he looked into his wife's eyes. Fine, I will keep my temper down for this mission, but no kissing or hugging between you and the demon, said Rin to Sakura. In an instant Sakura's eyes turned red and 2 red chakra tails danced behind her. Before even Naruto could stop her, Sakura had her mother pinned against the wall, her hand around her n. The demon chakra burning Rin's skin. How dare you insult my mate, the man I love above even my own life. I should snap your n, growled Sakura. However, suddenly Naruto, the same state as Sakura only with 3 tails, grabbed Sakura's arm and pulled her off her mother. Sakura-chan, what do you think you're doing? Asked Naruto as he stepped in between his mate and Mrs. Haruno. He looked into Sakura's red eyes. I am defending you, answered Sakura. And I am defending you against yourselves. I know you couldn't live with yourself if you hurt her, said Naruto. She is AB, said Sakura as she pointed at her mother. Yes, but still doesn't change fact that she is your mother. She can hate me all she wants, I can take it, said Naruto. But Naruto-kun, you have already had such a hard life, I don't want you to take another insult, said Sakura. Sakura-chan, I can take her insults, but I know if you did this you would be in pain, and seeing you in pain, that is something I can't take, so please Sakura-chan don't do this, said Naruto as both he and Sakura turned back to normal. Naruto-kun, I am only trying to defend you like what you did for me all those times, said Sakura as she looked at the floor. Sakura-chan, said Naruto as he pulled her close and led her toward the door where her mother sat on the ground, the burn mark clearly visible. Sakura looked down at her mom. Mom, don't insult Naruto-kun in front of me again or I will not stop, said Sakura as she looked at her stunned mother. Okay, all 6 of you meet at the gates in an hour, said Tsunade pretending that nothing happened. As soon the 4 time travels were out the door, Rin spoke up. Lady Hokage, aren't you going to arrest Naruto for trying to kill me? Yelled Rin. That isn't what I saw, Rin. I saw that Naruto stopped your own daughter from killing you because you were stupid to piss of her off, said Tsunade. With Temari and Shikamaru, Sakura is even scarier than you when you're pissed, said Shikamaru as he and Temari walked down the street. I am just worried that someday when she and Naruto have kids she will lose her temper and hurt one of them, said Temari. That will not happen, said Shikamaru. How are you so sure about that? Asked Temari. Because of the fact that the Kyuubi is a fox, said Shikamaru, when he saw the confused look on his wife's face. Both female and male foxes will S before they let anyone hurt their mate. They will K anything for their kits. And since the bloodline limit comes from a fox, you think that mine set pasted on as well, said Temari. Yes, I do, said Shikamaru as the two of them walked to the gate to find the other 4 members already there. This is weird, thought Naruto as he and Sakura walked in front while Sakura's parents walked right behind them, with Shikamaru and Temari behind them. If mom says anything about Naruto-kun again, I don't know what I will do, thought Sakura as the 6 of them kept on walking. The whole day passed and no one had spoken a word. Finally Temari broke the silence. I think we should stop at the next clearing and make camp. Okay, said Naruto as they walked until they found a campsite and everyone split up to do a different job. Soon they were all gathered around the fire eating. This is really good, Sakura, said Manal, this is just like your mother's cooking. Actually Naruto-kun cooked it, said Sakura as the 2 Harunos looked at Naruto. Well, growing up alone, you learn a few things, said Naruto. But this is my mother's recipes, said Rin as she looked at the food. Yeah, Sakura-chan gave it to me, said Naruto as he eat some more. Well, you got the spice all wrong, said Rin as she placed the food down. Taste the same as yours. So just eat, said Manao as Rin glared at him before picking the food back up and started eating. Well, I am heading to bed, yawned Naruto. Don't worry, our alert foxes are out. We will take first watch, said Manao as he looked toward his wife. We take the second, said Temari. Well, looks like we have the final watch, said Sakura as she and Naruto stood up and headed for their tent. Soon Temari and Shikamaru went to their tent. After a few minutes had passed, the sound of light snoring came from Naruto and Sakura's tent. Sounds like Naruto snores. Let another sign that Sakura doesn't belong with him, said Rin as Manao rolled his eyes. Rin, what does the fact that he snores makes a difference, said Manao as he looked at his wife. Our daughter needs the perfect man. She doesn't need us to find her a man, she already has the one she wants, said Manao, besides I snore. Well, just admit it, you are running out of reasons to hate Naruto, said Manao as Rin just glared at him. You know Sakura looks just like you when we got married. You are not changing the subject that easy. You want me to accept that our daughter is married to a demon, said Rin. Yes, but I wouldn't call Naruto a demon. You know what Sakura will do to you, said Manao. She is under his control, said Rin as Manao shook his head. Rin-chan, Naruto stopped Sakura from killing you. He saved your life, said Manao as he looked at the tent where his daughter and her husband slept. Just then a gust of wind moved the opening so that he could see. If you need to see proof of how much they love each other, take a look at them now. Fine, said Rin as she got up and walked toward the tent. Slowly she looked inside to see her little girl resting her head on Naruto's chest just below his head. One of her hands were resting on Naruto's far shoulder, pulling him to her. Rin couldn't see her daughter's other hand. However, Naruto's arm she could see. One of his hands disappeared under the sheet, but she could follow the arm under the covers was wrapped around her daughter's hip. The other was placed on his own chest. His head was down so that his cheek was being brushed by Sakura's pink hair. Now do you see, Rin-chan? They are in love with each other and neither you nor I or anything else will drive it apart, said Manao as he looked at his wife. So I see it that we can handle it one of 3 ways. First, we could choose number 1, we can hate Naruto and cause our only daughter to hate us as well. Second, we can just say nothing and not talk to Naruto. That will take us out of our daughter's life because she will not talk to us. Finally, we can take number 3, we can tell Sakura it her choice and accept that Naruto is her husband and become a part of our daughter and any grandkids they may have. So Rin, what do you think we should do? I don't know. I want to be part of our angle life but Naruto, said Rin as she looked at the sleeping Namikazes. You can't have both ways and I want to be part of our daughter's life more than I don't want Naruto around, said Manao. Besides, in the short time I have been around him, I believe that he isn't bad and I am sure that he would to save our daughter. Manao watched the internal struggle going on in his wife's eyes. One was her hatred of the demon Kyuubi which Naruto stands for in her mind. The other the love she had for her only daughter. Fine, I will accept him, but I will not like it, said Rin as she walked over and sat down with her husband. Next day in Wind Country. This is pointless, said Deodara to himself as he studied the outer wall of the sand village. We can punch right through those defenses in seconds. That is what you think, said a new voice as Deodara turned around to see a grinning blonde-haired man. Naruto Namikaze, said Deodara as he turned around to face the Namikaze. Suddenly he fell to the ground. Standing over him was Sakura Namikaze. All too easy, said Sakura as Naruto bent down and threw the Akatsuki member over his shoulder. Manao and Rin Haruno appeared next to them. Looks like you are going to have to use some of your training, Rin-chan, said Manao as his wife grinned like she always does when she gets to use some of her integration techniques she learned under her sensei Ibiki Morino. In the sand village, it is time to wake up, Deodara, said a voice in the darkness as Deodara opened his eyes to see that he was tied to a chair in a dark room with a single light over his head. Glad to see that you are awake. As a pink-haired woman stepped into the light. Who are you? Asked Deodara. I am your worst nightmare, said the pink-haired woman before she kicked the chair onto the wet floor. I will not talk, said Deodara. You will, said Rin as she smiled. Outside the cell. Now you understand why I was always afraid of your mother, said Naruto. She isn't that bad, said Sakura. Sakura dear, you have no idea what she can do. She was a Ibiki Morino top student until she stopped when she was pregnant with you, said Manao as Rin made shadow clones and held the chair upside down, so that all the blood rushed to Deodara's head. Naruto Namikaze, Manao Haruno, the council is ready to see you, said a Sand Jonin. Back in the Leaf Village. Ino lay on the grassy hill just looking up at the sky, just thinking. This always worked for Shikamaru, why isn't it working for me? Hey Ino, what are you up to? Asked Chuji as he walked up to his friend. Just thinking, said Ino as she tried to avoid Chuji's eyes. I can't tell him I am thinking about Kiba. You are thinking about Kiba, aren't you? Said Chuji as he sat down next to Ino. How did you know? Asked a stunned Ino. You have the same look on your face when you were thinking about Sasuke, and since you and Kiba are a thing now, said Chuji. Me and Kiba-kun are not a thing, yelled Ino as Chuji grinned. What? You only use kun when you have a crush on someone, like when you used to add it to Sasuke's name and you just added it to Kiba's name, said Chuji as Ino looked at the ground. Am I that readable? Asked Ino. Only to those who know you as long as I have, Ino, said Chuji as he opened a bag of chips. So what are you going to do? That is what I am trying to figure out, said Ino as she fell back on the ground looking back up at the sky. I just don't know what I am going to do. Kiba-kun and I agreed to try to figure out our own emotions before doing anything together. Why don't you try to figure out your emotions together? I mean, you can't tell me the feelings you have for Kiba, they will just freak me out, said Chuji as Ino's eyes snapped open. Chuji, that is the best idea you have ever came up with, said Ino as she jumped off the ground. I have to find Kiba. With that, Ino ran off as Chuji grinned. Flashback. Now listen, Chuji, I need your help on this one, said Shikamaru as he looked at his friend as they sat in Shikamaru and Temari house in the Nara compound. What do you need my help for? I mean, you are a Jonin now, right? Said Chuji. Chuji, this has nothing to do with my mission against the Akatsuki, it is about Ino, said Shikamaru. What about her? You and I both know how strong-willed she is, said Shikamaru. Yeah, so, said Chuji. So I need your help getting her and Kiba together, said Shikamaru as Chuji looked at his now older friend. Isn't kind of forcing them into that, I thought you wanted them to choose for themselves, asked Chuji. No, Because it was the two of us who got them together in the first place, said Shikamaru. See, it took Ino longer than Sakura to accept that Sasuke was evil. We told her to talk to someone about it. And we sent her to Kiba, said Chuji. Actual no, I sent her to you first but then US and she moved to Kiba but it took a push, said Shikamaru. So you want me to give her that push? What if I want to date her myself? Asked Chuji as the two friends looked at each other before bursting out laughing. Good on Chuji, Ino would have you whipped in 2 weeks flat, said Shikamaru. Yeah, and she would force me to go on a diet and all those low-fat meals she always eat taste horrible, said Chuji. Well, she is better on the whole dieting thing in the future and you know she is a great cook. Hell, she is better than Temari, said Shikamaru as Chuji looked at him. She is standing behind, isn't she? Yep, said Chuji as he looked at a very pissed Temari. Troublesome, you better get going, Chuji, said Shikamaru as he watched his friend slowly get up and walked out of the room. End flashback. I just hope Shino is have the same luck with Kiba as I had with Ino, said Chuji as he took another handful of chips. I am not sure about that, Shino, said Kiba as he looked at Shino as he took care of another of his clan's pups. It is the most logical solution. It will take too long for either of you to work out your feelings for Ino and her feelings for you, said Shino. We can't function together as a team if you two don't work this out first. Still, our feelings are for each other. It is like putting two hungry wolves together, said Kiba. Two wolves can work together and take down a meal for both of them, said Shino as Kiba let out a sigh. I get what you are saying, Shino, said Kiba, but I don't know if she would want to talk about any of that. I am not so sure about that, said Shino as Kiba's oldest Hana's sister walked up. Yo, brat, there is a blonde-hair girl at the door. Who wants to talk to you? I will be right there, said Kiba as his sister walked away only to run into another of Kiba's sister Saya. Sis, who is that blonde-hair girl at the door? I don't know, maybe it is Kiba's new girlfriend, said Hana. You are not too far from the truth, said Shino as he walked past the two stunned Inuzuka sisters as they ran toward the front door to listen in. Hey Ino-chan, what are you doing here? Asked Kiba as he met Ino at the door. Well, I was wondering if we could take a walk, said Ino as a slight brush crossed her face. Sure, said Kiba as he and Ino walked out of the door. In the Sand Village. These terms seem reasonable, said a Sand Council member. They should be. These are the terms that we agreed on in my time, said Naruto. If I remember correctly, the Sand Village was destroyed, right? Said a different council member. Yes, but that threat is gone and only one more remains and they're down to 4 S-rank ninjas, said Manao. Let's go over it again, said the council leader. We both come to each other defense if attacked and free trade between our nations. Like I said, it seems reasonable. No one side has the upper hand in the deal, said another council member. That is the point. We are risking our village's people to be allied with them, said the head council member. Fine, but don't come running to us when the village attack. Because I know at this moment your village's defense are weak, said Naruto as the Sand Village council member's eyes narrowed. It is true that we are rebuilding our forces from our attempt to invade your village, said the council member. It was our alliance that stopped any of the other nations from attacking. So what do you say? Do you want to sign on to this alliance? Asked Naruto as Manao looked at his son-in-law. He acts just like his father when I saw him at the table notations over a long-term peace with the Rock Village, thought Manao. Fine, we will agree to this, said the head council leader. Good to have one more thing back to normal, said Naruto as he stood back up. Now let's go see what our prisoner has to say. Back in the Leaf Village. So, what do you want to talk about? Asked Kiba as he and Ino walked around one of the small lakes on the Inuzuka clan compound. Truth be told, I want to talk about us, said Ino. You hear that, sis? Us, said Sai as she and Hana hid in the bushes. Yes, this is indeed very interesting. I thought we agreed that we were going to figure out our own emotions, you know. Yours for Sasuke, mine for Hinata, said Kiba as they keep walking, Akamaru walking in between them. Yeah, but Chuji talked to me and he thinks that if we work through it together it will be better, said Ino as she sat down on a small bench. Ino-chan, I think we have been set up. Shino told me almost the same thing, said Kiba as he sat down next to her. I know. I knew that Shikamaru would try something like this. said Ino calmly. Yet you don't seem too upset, said Kiba. What can I? He knows me better than I know myself. Hell, he knows 9 whole years of my life that hasn't happened yet, said Ino. True, said Kiba as his sister listened in, wondering where the conversation would take them. So how do you want to do this? Do we just talk about the feelings we have for our old flames, or do we talk about us? How the hell I am supposed to know, dog boy? Yelled Ino. I don't know, you are the girl, doesn't that mean you know how to deal with relationships and feelings? Yelled Kiba back. That is such a idiotic idea. I don't know, yelled Ino. Well, you read that journey of yours from the future, what does it have to say? Asked Kiba back. You idiot, my future self started writing that 2 years into us dating and until we both said Ino. Still it had to have details of how we got together, said Kiba. It doesn't, said Ino. I see. Sorry about yelling back there, said Kiba as they both calmed down. That's okay, I yelled too. It's just I still don't know what to do. I always dreamed about being Ino Uchiha, but now it is Ino Inuzuka, said Ino as Kiba's 2 sisters looked stunned. Sis, I think this may be our little brother's wife in that future timeline that the Namakazes and those Naris come from, said Saya as she remembered the speech the Hokage gave. Yeah, it is strange, but I can already see that they would be good for each other, said Hannah. I just think they look cute together, said Saya. Shut up, they will hear us. Maybe if we just talked about ourselves first. I mean, get to know each other better first, said Kiba. Sure, that could work, said Ino. Well, my birthday is April 1st. In the Sand Village. So are you ready to talk? Asked Rin calmly as she cleaned her nails with a kunai. Deodara sat in his chair panting as sweat and a small amount of blood ran down his cheek. Fine, I'll talk, said Deodara. So tell me, where is Hinata Uchiha and the rest of the Akatsuki? Asked Rin. We are in our Fire Country base only 5 miles away from your western wall. Hidden underground by a small river, said Deodara. Pain didn't think you would look for him so close to your own village. Now, was that too hard? But if I find out you lied to me, no force on this earth will save you, said Rin as she walked out the door. Good work, Mom, said Sakura. That was fun, but I believe you should get that husband of yours and complete your mission, said Rin. So you finally accepted Naruto-kun isn't a demon? Asked Sakura. No, but I have accepted that he, no matter how much I may hate him, you love him and I don't want to lose you, so I will have to deal with him, said Rin. Well, I don't know what to say, Mother. On one level, I'm happy that you aren't going to try to break me and my husband up. Another level, I'm upset that you still hate him. Your father thinks that Naruto will grow on me over time, but I do it, said Rin as Sakura smiled. What? That is a lot of people said, but over time they all came over to become Naruto's friends, said Sakura. I wouldn't hold my breath on that, said Rin. Now get going, me and your father will inform the Hokage about what we learned. Thanks, Mom. With that, Sakura disappeared in a flash. Back in the Leaf Village. So that covers all the basics, said Ino. I don't feel I know anything about you. Same here, said Kiba. Woof. Do you think so, buddy? Asked Kiba to Akamaru. Woof. Come on, Ino, I have something to show you. What? Just come on, Blondie, said Kiba as he grabbed Ino's arm and they started down the path. Where are we going? Said Ino. You will see, said Kiba as they ran down into the woods. After a few minutes they stopped. Now will you tell me where we are going? Asked Ino as Kiba smiled. We are going to one of the places that my clan keeps secret, said Kiba as Ino looked at him. Will you not get into trouble for telling me any of your clan secrets? Asked Ino. No, this is not really a clan secret, more like a guarded place that we protect from outside harm. Don't worry, it's fine, said Kiba as he pushed through a thick brush. Come on. Coming, dog boy, said Ino as she pushed through the brush. Finally she came through to a small clearing and her mouth fell open. In front of her was a small clearing, but it wasn't a normal clearing, instead it was filled with wildflowers in full bloom. However, unlike the normal wildflowers in Fire Country, these were a deep shade of blue instead of the normal yellow. I knew you would like this place, said Kiba as Ino walked into the field of flowers. Wow, I have never seen any flowers like these growing in the wild. What are they? Asked Ino as she looked at them. We don't really know, this is the only place in Fire Country that we know they grow in the wild. Since we found it and my clan protects it, so we call the Inuzuka flower, said Kiba as he bent down next to Ino. They are beautiful, said Ino. You can take one if you want, said Kiba as Ino looked up at him. I thought you said this was your clan's flower, said Ino as she looked into his brown eyes. Yes, and I said you can have one, said Kiba as Ino kept looking into his eyes. This is just like something out of the journey, it is so simple. A single flower, just one. My clan has an entire flower shop full of them, yet these flowers are different. They are untamed, they are wild and free, thought Ino as she gently reached down and placed her hands on either side of one of the flowers. I can't do it, said Ino, these flowers only grow here, it would be wrong to take them away from this place. They need to be free. Good job Ino-chan, said Kiba as Ino looked at him as he pulled one and handed it to her. I just said I didn't want it. They need to be free, said Ino. Yes, you did, and that means you can have one for real. See, it is a tradition for females in the Inuzuka clan to have one of the flowers for themselves, but only after they said they don't want it. I don't follow, said Ino. See, this flower will only grow if people let it alone and let nature take care of it sometimes. Just like one of my clan's dogs, we train with them, but they are free to choose for themselves. They are our equals. If someone can't learn how to take care of something but still let it be free, then they can never truly handle a ninja hound correctly, said Kiba as he placed the flower into Ino's hands and then placed his hands around hers. This is so cute, said Saya. It is. I just hope little brother doesn't get in trouble, said Hannah. He will not, said a new voice as the two Inuzuka sisters turned to see their mother standing there. Mom, what are you doing here? Following Kiba and Ino, said Chum. So, Kiba will not get into trouble for giving her one of the clan's flowers before their wedding, said Saya as their mom started to laugh a bit. No, your father did the same for me, when we started dating at 13, said Chum as her daughters looked at her. So dad did the same thing to you? Asked Hannah. Yes, and grandpa did the same for grandma and so on for almost every male of our clan. See girls, Kiba unknowingly followed a tradition of our clan, said Chum. Now let's leave them be. Next day, outside of the village hidden in the leaves, Rasengan, yelled Naruto as he slammed it against the hidden door to the Akatsuki base. The door flew open to show Pain and Conan standing there. Well, hello there cousin, what brings you here? Said Pain calmly as he looked at the Namakazes and the Naras standing before him. We come for Hinata and to end the Akatsuki, said Naruto. I see, however I can't that come to pass, said Pain. Then we have a problem, said Naruto. Indeed, a problem that can only be solved in combat. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.